Well, hello everyone and welcome to Race Week Extra. Today I'm going to be reacting to an article that was appeared on BBC Sport this morning saying that next month's Turkish Grand Prix is under threat after the UK government put Turkey on its red travel list. So obviously, if you've forgotten or been living under a rock, Turkey, of course, was brought in to replace Canada after the Canadian Grand Prix was cancelled last month. However, the transport twat Grant Shapps, he basically is useless, managing the UK transport on behalf of the clown government that we have. But anyway, he said that on Friday that red list countries should not be visited except in the most extreme circumstances. Now, first of all, we're going to see football react first because the Champions League final also happens to be in Istanbul, and if, let's say, the Champions League gets called off, then I suspect we're going to hear potentially the Turkish Grand Prix get cancelled as well. So yes, F1 says it's assessing the situation will provide more details in the coming days. The race is scheduled the 13th of June, 23 race season. Now this is also, I'm going to mention, this is also going to be the preface for this video. The 23 Grand Prix, obviously Chinese Grand Prix, I mean it's not on the calendar, so that's probably a no. Australia is very tough. I think somebody said that they're not allowing anybody in until 2023, so again, if that happens or not, we'll have to wait and see. Japan, very bad at the moment. I mean, Tokyo and Osaka are under emergency restrictions. So, obviously, I don't think we'll be racing there. Singapore, being Singapore. And then Brazil and Mexico have also got high numbers of COVID. So, with those, 6 races set to be cancelled, let's have a look and see where else we could be racing. So, I've done a little bit of research. I haven't done a lot of research, but this is what I think will be the calendar. Now, obviously, if Turkey does get cancelled, then obviously it's okay. We're in Europe at this moment in time, so my money is on that we'll end up racing at Hockenheim on the 20th, and I think also they could push that 7th round backwards to perform a triple header with France and Austria. Hockenheim is apparently free. I don't know why. Apparently on their website they don't have any events coming up until August, so I don't know if they got some resurfacing or what's going on there. But of course, some fraudulent websites are starting to sell tickets for apparently the 2021 German Grand Prix at Hockenheim. So don't be surprised to see Hockenheim feature if Turkey drops off or any others drop off. Unfortunately, we can't have the Nürburgring instead of Istanbul because I believe they are busy on the 13th of June. So, yes, so instead, I've decided that obviously Japan and Singapore are quite near the Russia. They're in early October. We were still racing in Europe. I think the Nürburgring was 11th of October last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if we were at the Nürburgring and also Mugello as well. They're 2 tracks that F1's been before, so they know what they're doing there. They know the protocols with all that and whatnot, so it should be easy. Now, this is the F1 after that has a problem because although Mexico and Brazil are set to be cancelled, the United States Grand Prix is very much likely to go ahead. This is because the United States has done very well with its vaccination program. I think 200 million vaccinations have been given out or something like that. So along with the UK, I think that the UK, the US and Chile are the 3 leaders, if I remember rightly. But anyway, with that then, the United States Grand Prix set to go ahead. This gives Liberty Media, who probably want to hold as many races in the US as possible over the coming years, including with the fact we've already got a second race coming at Miami. This gives the Liberty Media the excuse to have 3 Grand Prix in America. I think we have had 3 Grand Prix over there before in a single season. Detroit, Dallas, and Caesars Palace, I think. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong about that. But yes, so obviously the USA Grand Prix, unless they decide to change the dates, obviously there's a triple header currently planned on the 24th of October, 31st of October, and the 7th of November. The 3 dates. Now, obviously, to fill the other 2, they could just go round COTA again. I mean, there is a short layout available at the Circuit of the Americas, but if it was me going around Circuit of the Americas more than once, it's probably not the best way to go about things. And plus, I don't think they'll do that because of the other venues. There's a whole load of racetracks in the United States that they could use, and therefore I think that potentially, if things do get cancelled, I reckon we will be racing in Indianapolis. Raced there before. Zach Brown says that F1 could be racing there in the future again, so that would be, for me, I mean, it only stopped hosting F1 because of the Michelin tyres, but we don't have Michelin tyres anymore. We have Pirelli, so hopefully the blowout on the chicane, we'll find out, because Zandvoort has a similar banking, on the final corner to Indianapolis. So I would love to see everyone be back at Indianapolis for Halloween as well. Imagine the amount of people they're going to get in there as well, socially distanced as well. And then the third race in the United States is a little bit tricky. They could have 2 at COTA and then 1 at Indianapolis. I don't think they'll have all 3 at COTA, but they could also use this excuse to bring the Miami Grand Prix forward. Now, obviously this is a lot provisional thing. The fact of the matter is the contract hasn't started with the Miami Grand Prix organisers yet, so they will have to talk to the organisers and get them to move the contract forward so they could have the Miami Grand Prix. Failing that, there are a couple of others available. Sebring did host a Grand Prix back in 1959 along with some other one. The other most famous track that has hosted the United States Grand Prix, although it hasn't hosted for a while, is Watkins Glen. So that could also be another option, as well as a second race at COTA. I do think though that they will try and keep 23 Grand Prix, because Liberty Media have said they want to have 25 Grand Prix, and if they can get the record amount done, then that will prove, okay, we've done 23, let's move on, let's see how we can improve the calendar to get 25 Grand Prix on the calendar. Whether that's they start having double headers with Azerbaijan and Russia, and so on, they reorder the calendar so there's less travelling basically, which I've never got why they haven't reordered the calendar sometimes with some of the events as well. Now obviously we know that the last 2 rounds are probably going to go ahead in Saudi Arabia and Yas Marina, so the third to last race probably won't take in Australia. They could host Turkey if they get everything right, but I don't think that they will. I think if Turkey gets cancelled, then that's it. They won't be reappearing later on the calendar. So obviously, it means we need another track in the Middle East. And if they do this in the Middle East, that means they can revert Jeddah and the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to the original dates, because they got pushed back a further week to fit in Australia on the current calendar. If they can then bring those Grand Prix back with a triple final header, and why not another trip to Bahrain with the outer circuit. I mean, I saw some great late racing in the 87 laps last year, and I do see that we will be racing there, could be racing there again later in the season. So yes, that's my proposed calendar if things go wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments below. about this. Let me know which tracks you would like to see on the calendar in place of those 6 tracks that could set to be cancelled out of the race. But if you are new around here, then please do get subscribed to plenty more episodes of Race Week, where I show my reaction to F1 and Co. Race Week, of course, we'll be back on Monday, I should point out, with a reaction to the boring Spanish Grand Prix. But anyway, until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.